Hey guys, what's up? So a number of you were pretty disappointed with our last RAZER themed PC build. The streaming PC, part of our dual RAZER PC setup for our whole Ultimate RAZER setup. Now I understand some people were disappointed because I didn't use like the Leon Lee RAZER edition case that looks kind of ugly because I already have the Leon Lee and it gets kind of boring over time, and when you have more than one it's just eh. But I just feel that case doesn't match. Now, yeah, I know it's more RAZER than just a black case with green LEDs, but that's because that was the streaming PC that you won't really see as much because it's not as important as the gaming PC. Now, the gaming PC, this one's going to be interesting. I searched far and wide, and when I finally found it by putting a bounty on it on my stream, so person who found it got a bunch of entries and stuff, I finally found this. This is the NZXT S340 RAZER Edition. It's got green underglow, green LEDs in the power button, and a light up green RAZER logo on the front. This is the ultimate RAZER case for our ultimate RAZER gaming PC. This thing is the one you're going to see on the desk. But to go with our epic RAZER case, we need some epic RAZER specs. I don't know why I'm saying RAZER a bunch of times. These are not RAZER components because RAZER doesn't make components. So, let's start off with one of the most important parts for extreme gaming performance, the graphics card. And yes, you guys have seen this. You guys know what it is. This is the GTX 1080 Ti Poseidon. This thing is insane. It's got one of those infinity mirror things on the side. We can make it nice and green. It's got light up on. It's got RGB on the back. It has two pretty giant fans. I think one smaller than the other, and it has water cooling fittings. Because this card can be air cooled or liquid cooled. Sadly, we will only be air cooling it right now for this build, but I hope in the future to put some liquid, like maybe green liquid in there. And to go with our insane 1080 Ti, this may seem underpowered, but I am an avid overclocker, and we do have some AIO liquid cooling going on with the NZXT Kraken X68, I think, the 280mm radiator. We have a Ryzen 5 3600. I was going to go with like a 3800X or something, but I just don't. It's so expensive. So a Ryzen 5 3600 on an MSI X570 AC carbon, whatever, something like that. One of those expensive, nice X570 boards. Now, it's only got an 8-pin and a 4-pin EPS connector, which is plenty to overclock this 3600 to way past 3600X speeds. Now, let's talk about storage. So, we have this. I've been so excited. I bought this so long ago, and it finally arrived, and I've been so excited to do something with it. And I think this is just perfect for a gaming build. This is a 256GB NVMe SSD from Asgard. Yeah, this is from Asgard. This is the Thor of drives. This is an Asgard NVMe SSD, M.2 NVMe SSD from China. This thing looks insane. I'm so excited to put it in this build, but 256GB obviously isn't enough for all of our games, so we also have a 1TB hard drive. You're probably wondering, if this is a high-speed gaming build, why are you using an old hard drive? Because we have a 16GB Intel Optane module. These modules act as cache for the hard drives, effectively speeding them up. To put it generally, we will be using one of our M.2 slots for this, and the other one for our NVMe SSD. Now, our RAM. Naturally, we need some fast RAM for this 3600, so we got 16 gigs. I will upgrade to 32, I just couldn't find any extra Trident Z Neo. Of Trident Z Neo DDR4 3600 megahertz. This is some insane RAM, and it's very beautiful. Nice green LEDs we can light that up with. Oh, I don't like when they scratch together. What else? So, and there is more storage. One sec. For each of my builds, I like to reach to the top shelf, which is the Chinese parts shelf, for some special stuff. So, I have not found a use for these drives yet, and finally, I found a use for them. This case has like kind of drive displays on the front, so I thought, why not use two pretty drives? They don't match the theme at all, but they're just awesome. We have our Yeston 120GB SSD and our King Spec Merry Christmas 120GB SSD. Each one of these will hold 1 to 2 games, along with the NVMe, which will hold Call of Duty and maybe one more, because Call of Duty is like 150 gigs. So we definitely have enough SSD space for most of our games, and anything else, especially any local recordings we do. Although we have a 2 terabyte for actual recordings on our capture device, our streaming PC, 1 terabyte won't hurt just for some extra recordings, especially like local stuff when I don't feel like doing any work on the second PC. But so we have 240 plus 250, so we have like 500 gigs total of SSD space. So that's going to be our build. I did mention we are using an NZXT X68 Kraken or whatever. I don't know. It's the 200. It's this giant 280mm version of the AIO. And we do have some custom cables. The picture online was definitely way different for these cable extensions. They're not really the right green, but honestly, green is green. I know, it's disappointing, but those cable mounted cables like $120 for like the dark green. So I just said, whatever, we'll just use these. I think they'll look better than just like the normal unsleeved cables. So yeah, that's our build. And I'm just gonna do the normal time lapse. I'm not gonna do like where I bring the camera over here. I've got one basic camera. There's water behind me. And that's really it. So I'm just going to do our normal time lapse. I'm going to start this build, and I will see you guys when it's done.